Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 466 based on novel. So let's start. Due to unknown reasons, Sogu suddenly couldn't find this site today. Please keep in mind the domain name of this site, Shuhage Quanpin, to find your way home. You can search for Fighting the Sky God of Yang Di in Baidu to find the latest chapter. Boom. After Xiao Yang and the white-clothed man fought with a simple blow, the terrifying power winds lingered in the hall. The two stepped aside and sneered. The fire attribute power of Xiao Yang is tyrannical, coupled with his control over the timing of attacks. Even the man in white is ashamed. But on the contrary, no matter how powerful Xiao Yang's attack was, when he was about to hit the man in white, he was neutralized by an extremely strange force. There seems to be some kind of treasure on this demon burying Lord Jiang. At this moment, Poison Soul Child also tried hard to recall the scene where he fought with him before. Try my blow. After a while, Xiao Yang was burning with raging fire, and rushed directly at the man in white. The terrifying high temperature once caused the air in the hall to make a sound of burning and bursting. Magic. Seeing Xiao Yang's terrifying attack, the man in white snorted coldly, a strange black mist poured out of his body, and then continuously covered his body. No matter how fierce Xiao Yang's attack was, it was still useless. Golden Crow Fire. On the side, Zun Eryu twisted her hand, eliminating the power of the holy flame, and only used ordinary flames to condense a fiery red golden crow, which swept away at the man in white. Crack. The golden crow was submerged, but at this time the atmosphere in the hall became extraordinarily quiet. WAN Snake's Dance. More and more black mist surged, and in the blink of an eye, it turned into a magic snake, constantly waving its body, revealing **** and sinister fangs. Every time it waved, countless magic voices echoed in everyone's minds, shocking them. Heartstrings. Soul power. Xiao Yang hurriedly displayed the protection of his soul, so that he was not in trouble. However, in the current hall, countless demonic snakes covered with demonic patterns surged around, turning this place into a real snake cave, and the scene was once horrified. Xiao Yang closed his eyes and lost his mind, and then an ancient turbulence rippled out of his body. Circles of black ripples overflowed from Xiao Yang's feet like ripples, and following Xiao Yang's actions, all the demonic snakes in the entire hall did not dare to show any fighting intent, and all crawled quietly. Do not. Impossible. Why are you a dignified human being in the human world, and why do you practice the supreme cultivation method of our demon world? At this moment, the man in white had a grim expression as he stared fiercely at Xiao Yang and roared. The Seven Realms divine art is a combination of countless exercises in each of the seven realms, and it took countless top-notch powers to research. This is a fatal suppression for the people in the devil world. This is the power of divine art. Looking at the entire demon world, there are probably only the number of hands who can cultivate this divine art. Tell out the whereabouts of that woman, otherwise, the body and spirit will be destroyed. Xiao Yang's magic realm started running, and then he said in a cold voice. Since the demon world, the magic world of the ghost world, the Buddha world, and the devil world has long been remembered in his heart, although Xiao Yang felt that the power of Fenju was better than the three, and he had not practiced it for a long time. However, the cultivation method with the three divine arts, even if it is not cultivated, it is enough to cause a fatal threat to them just by running it. You have no chance. I'm afraid that woman has now been turned into a bubble under the agitation of thousands of snakes dancing. There are countless demonic snakes in the myriad snake demon cave that I raised, bit by bit devouring her mind, eroding her skin, peeling off her flesh and blood, bit by bit. Listening to Xiao Yang's inquiries, the man in white instead looked crazy, and his voice was full of madness. Tear off. In an instant, listening to the words of the man in white, Xiao Yang, who possessed the magic of the devil world, turned ashen, and approached the man in white step by step. The mysterious demonic energy around the latter was instantly corroded and turned into white mists that dissipated here. Owner. The magic axe beside him was startled and looked at Xiao Yang like a **** of death. The demon-burying river is already very close to the headquarters of the Poison God Palace. The people who can stand here are almost among the best in the Poison God realm, but under the power of the Demon Realm God art, they are as ridiculous as ants. Unless they possess one of the 7 great artifacts of the demon world, they cannot fight against the owner of the divine art. If that's the case, then die. After you die, I will invade your breath little by little and explore your memory. Xiao Yang came to the man in white, raised his hand, and on the palm of his hand, The mysterious waves containing the supreme magic pattern, with the power to destroy all things, slowly suppress them. The unique power of the magic world is so strange. Bang bang bang. A strange scene happened. Even if Xiao Yan used the power of the magic world to launch a fatal blow on the white-clothed man, when the magic pattern invaded the white-clothed man, it seemed to be blocked by something and could not cause lethal damage. Xiao Yan, I am afraid that this guy has some treasures in the devil world. Do it, definitely not let him run away. The voice of Poison Soul just fell, and the whole person turned into a green poisonous mist, completely wrapping his retreat. Boom. Hearing this, Xiao Yang immediately increased the power of the magic world, but no matter how much Xiao Yang increased his power, he was still unable to break through the strange defense around the man in white. Hey! Your Excellency, wait a minute. This man can't die yet. Immediately, an eerie aura emerged like a ghost. Who is it? Zuna frowned, leaning on Xiao Yang's side, watching this guy vigilantly. I have no name or surname, but the people in the demon world gave me the nickname. Bamboo Spirit Layman. The gloomy mist instantly wrapped the body of Lord Jiang, and then a gloomy aura came out and spoke to Xiao Yang. The magic of the devil is really tyrannical, but your only skin power is not enough to really kill him. He is useful to me, why don't you sell me a face? From the mist of the self-proclaimed Bamboo Spirit Layman, there was a voice of discussion. Xiao Yang did not answer, but the truth is exactly what this guy said. Tear it off. With a tear, a dark passage appeared on the ground of the hall, and the passage seemed to connect some places. This is the passage where the woman you are looking for. She is dying now. If you go there in time, she still has a chance. Hihi, although this guy has treasures on his body, he is not one of the 7 artifacts of the devil world, so your principle is. The Bamboo Spirit Layman in the black mist opened his mouth slightly, as if he had expected Xiao Yang and the others' actions. Go. Xiao Yang stopped and confirmed again and again that there was indeed some aura of an exclusive little medical fairy in the passage, and the 3 of them swept into it. Compared with the life of a small medical fairy, a treasure is simply insignificant. The magic heart bell will actually fall into your hands. Although this thing is only in the category of fairy weapons, it is really interesting. Xiao Yang from the endless fire territory of the human world. We will meet again in the future. I don't know if the Dakian meeting, the catastrophe opening day said in the Book of Heaven is right or wrong. Xiao Yang, we will meet again when you finish dealing with the demon world. A faint voice emerged, and immediately the Lord of the Buried Demon River and the Demon Axe will be slowly swallowed by the so-called Bamboo Spirit Layman, and this guy's strength is as unfathomable as a bottomless pit. Bamboo Spirit Layman? Who is that? Xiao Yang couldn't help asking on the way down the passage to save the little medical fairy. The Zhuling Layman is said to be an intelligence officer of the devil world. In his hand, he holds one of the 7 great artifacts of the devil world, the Book of Magic Words. The Book of Magic Words does not have any substantial lethality, but every prediction is extremely accurate, but every time it is urged to make predictions, it needs to consume a huge amount of power. In addition, the strength of the Bamboo Spirit Layman who guards the Book of Heaven is tyrannical, the whereabouts are mysterious, even our Poison God Palace is helpless. It was once rumored that the magic language scripture is the Bamboo Spirit Layman, and the Bamboo Spirit Layman is the magic language scripture, or the guardian spirit of the scripture, but those rumors are too hidden, no one can investigate. Poison Soul said. After a while, they didn't bother about the origin of this guy. The 3 of them headed towards the bottom at full speed. After almost an hour, a strange green air mass blocked the journey of the 3 of them. There is a deadly poisonous mist in the green air mass. If it is handled carelessly, I am afraid that even the reincarnation powerhouse will be seriously injured in an instant. This is the door of poisonous mist. It seems that the bottom is really the devil's nest of 10,000 snakes. Get back a little bit. The poisonous soul opened his mouth in a stern voice, and after his breath, there were also thick poisonous mists rising from his body. Crack. With a bang, there was no extra means, the 2 groups of poisonous fog clashed, and the poisonous foglight group disintegrated instantly, and the 3 of them took advantage of the gap to get into it together. Without the obstruction of the poisonous mist gate, the overall appearance of the 10,000 Snakes Demon Cave appeared in front of Xiao Yang and the others. This is a labyrinth of caves overgrown with rocks. There are countless large and small caves and dark passages leading in all directions. If there is no guidance, it is very easy to get lost. There is even a terrifying and eerie force in the dark. I am afraid that there are countless poisons in it. Existence, a gust of yin wind is coming, and there is a poisonous mist lingering in the dark passage of the cave. Brother Xiao Yang, although I can also sense the aura of Sister Xiao, it's too weak. The three of Zuna stood on the edge of the devil's cave, and then said solemnly. Zuna was slightly shocked by the dense poisonous mist in the devil's nest of 10,000 snakes, not to mention that the difficulty factor of finding a small medical fairy under such circumstances naturally increased exponentially. Walk around and look first. When Xiao Yang heard the words, there was no good solution for a while, so he could only speak out. There was no movement in the slightly quiet devil's cave, and the silence was terrifying. After a long time, there was still no discovery, which made Xiao Yang's originally calm mind a little rushed. Little Doctor Immortal is right in front of me, but I can't find her at all. Boom. At the same time, a loud noise emerged from the depths of the devil's cave. Go. The three looked at each other, surging directly along the source of the sound. A few minutes later, the three of them came to the place where the sound originated. Hearing such a violent sound, Xiao Yang looked up and saw a thin figure on a slightly smooth rock block in the center of the magic cave. The shadow of the shadow stands. In an instant, Xiao Yang's complexion changed drastically, his pupils shrank slightly, because not far away, a figure dressed in white stood quietly, and the grey-purple eyes revealed endless strangeness and a touch of extremely sad pain. How can I ask such a beautiful figure, who is not a small medical fairy? Brother Xiao Yang. Seeing Xiao Yang temporarily losing his mind like a beast, golden holy flames emerged from Zuna's body, which stopped Xiao Yang. Around that rock, there were countless demonic snakes and poisonous snakes. Although they were perfectly concealed, Zuna could see through it at a glance. That kind of terrifying offensive, even if they have the strength of the first layer of reincarnation, once they act rashly, I am afraid it will be more fortunate, and at this time, in the eyes of the little medical fairy, if you look closely, you can find that it actually reflects a purple snake. Shadow, the purple snake shadow was small, but it made Zuna feel uncomfortable. This is the core area of the 10,000 snake demon cave. The Lord of the Demon Burying River should be trying to make the 10,000 snake king he raised to devour this girl. But this situation doesn't seem right. I hope that the worst result will not occur. The poisonous soul looked at the little medical fairy with a very regretful look. The level of terror in the devil's nest of 10,000 snakes was so terrifying that even now she would not dare to force it. It's just this purple king of 10,000 snakes, that is a monster raised by the Lord of the Burying Demon River with a huge amount of power and resources, and the power of venom is tyrannical. Tear off. In the blink of an eye, next to Xiao Yang and the others, arm-sized snake shadows emerged from the darkness, seemingly guided by some creature, and instantly surrounded Xiao Yang and the others. Zuna, just let me be self-willed once. Xiao Yang temporarily regained his senses, and then looked at Zuna a little ashamed. Brother Xiao Yang, Zuna said that I will always accompany you in the future. Zuna smiled slightly, and naturally knew Xiao Yang's intentions now. Okay. Then let our husband and wife get to know this so-called devil's nest of 10,000 snakes. The cold hum sound fell, and countless flames appeared one after the other on the two figures, illuminating the entire demon cave. Boom. Hot glazed holy flames and golden holy flames emerged, and the temperature of the entire space increased rapidly, causing the devil snakes surrounding Xiao Yang and others to retreat. The holy flame is hot and sacred, and the snake monsters are cold and cold, so naturally they are extremely afraid of high temperature and flames. Brother Xiao Yang, look. Sister Xiaoxian's side doesn't seem to be quite right. With the illumination of the holy flame, the whole picture of the secret passage of this devil's cave was just now in sight. In the distance, the little doctor fairy stood slim, with her eyes clearly open, but she looked absent-minded, and her whole body seemed to be bound by an invisible powerful force. The most striking thing is that within this girl, a dark green light spot slowly blooms with an amazing wave, resisting countless waves. That's poison pill? What's the matter? Countless questions in Xiao Yang's mind troubled him. Wait. Is this the poisonous body fighting back? Xiao Yang, kill the master of the 10,000 snake devil's nest that day. This girl can absorb its power and break through herself. Arriving at Dozian is no problem at this moment. The poisonous soul below is ecstatic. A peerless genius with a poisonous body like Xiaoxian, the way of cultivation is different from normal human beings who practice step by step, but practice poison. Swallowing poison, absorbing poisonous mist and other poison-related powers will feed back the power of geometric multiples to the owner of the poisonous body. As long as the poisonous body has the ability to withstand such terrifying invasion, the power will increase by geometrical multiples. This is the terrifying ability of the little Dr. Xian Yi after the poisonous body is transformed into the poison pill. Now, Poison Soul Child seems to know that the Lord of the Demon-Burying River wants to turn this girl into feed for the King of 10,000 Snakes, so as to help this powerful beast become more vicious. Unfortunately, he forgot that a mountain is higher than a mountain. Zuna, the snake shadows around this devil's cave will be handed over to you. I'll go and meet the King of 10,000 Snakes. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, he handed a delicate antler to Zuna, turned his head to look at the position of the little medical fairy and said in a condensed voice. Because the 10,000 Snakes Demon Cave has been located in the underground space of the Burying Demon River for many years, coupled with the shroud and erosion of countless poisonous mists, the air here has become extremely turbid. Fortunately, Xiao Yang possessed 2 precious antlers of Wulu Zilingyan, which were enough to isolate all poisons, which was enough to relieve the pressure of the poisonous mist for Xiao Yang and others. Zuna smiled and nodded. The golden flames all over her body ignited, turning into hot golden crows, expelling many devil snakes that were hiding in the dark. Otherwise, if such a huge number of devil snakes attacked, the 3 of them situation is extremely dangerous. In the magic cave, there are faint gaps around the rock mass, and there is actually a thick poisonous mist that continues to spread, and it seems that there are extremely terrifying creatures inhabiting the depths. Xiao Yang was wrapped in holy flames, and approached the little medical fairy who was in a state of absent-mindedness. Today's little medical fairy, the breath is one after another, and the breathing is orderly, but there is no movement, as if being hypnotized by some creature. Even Xiao Yang found that the poisonous pill emits a faint light, not like a dangerous call. Just the most urgent task is to save the little medical fairy from the hands of the 10,000 Snake King. This rocky piece of land seems to be normal, but under the invasion of poisonous mist for countless years, it has become a place of poisonous barrier. Walking lightly, with every step, the perception of soul power and holy flame power feedback made Xiao Yang's expression particularly solemn. This kind of spooky and highly poisonous, even the antlers that can isolate all poisons, trembled slightly, so Xiao Yang had to take it seriously, otherwise, if he was not careful, the boat would capsize in the gutter. After a while, Xiao Yang increased his strength to protect his body, concentrated his attention, and stepped lightly on this tens of meters of smooth rocky land. Just as he stepped in, the soles of his feet actually conveyed an icy touch. As a result, a terrifying aura swept through the whole body, and Xiao Yang quickly retreated like an electric shock. "Brother Xiao Yang, are you all right?" Seeing this, Zuna hurriedly asked. Xiao Yang's every move just now was in the eyes of both of them. "It's okay. It's just that there seems to be some strange aura near the little doctor's body." Xiao Yang shook his head, and then his eyes rolled quickly. The gloomy power just now gave Xiao Yang a long-lost heart palpitation. Rock-breaking heaven burial. The next moment, the Holy Flame's original technique about the fire heart Tianyang in the Holy Flames was directly deployed, and pieces of rock flew from the ground around the magic cave, forming an extremely thick flame giant ball in front of Xiao Yang. Xiao Yang sneered, and pointed his toes on these strange poisonous mists. The left palm controlled the celestial burial, and a glazed flame emerged in the other palm, and then the whole person turned into a flaming fox, facing Xiao Yang like lightning. The medical fairy swept away. Boom! The terrifying fluctuations just approached the little medical fairy, and suddenly 2 terrifying energies clashed, and waves of hot and gloomy energy ripples spread out. "Little Doctor Immortal, you'll be fine." After breaking this barrier, Xiao Yang's pressure was greatly reduced, and he quickly approached the edge of the little doctor's body, 1 meter away. For a time, Xiao Yang couldn't help but look at the white-clothed figure in front of him with mixed feelings. The encounter in the valley, the trip to the poisonous pill, the trip to the cave. Xiao Yang's mind came to Xiao Yang's mind every bit in the Dochi continent. Tear off. After resting, a purple snake shadow slowly overflowed in the eyes of the little doctor fairy, and then turned into a purple energy snake shadow several tens of meters in size, instantly entangling the delicate body of the little doctor fairy in the absent state. The purple snake shadow, the snake body is divided into 10 parts, each part reveals a very dangerous poisonous mist, just bound the little medical fairy. Suddenly the power of the poisonous pill in its delicate body is greatly reduced, and it is faintly dimmed and extinguished. Mark of breakthrough. Without waiting for Xiao Yang to do anything, the purple snake shadow burst out with an extremely terrifying roar, which actually made the entire space buzz. This is the king of 10,000 snakes in the devil's nest of 10,000 snakes. He has ruled here for countless years, and holds the power of extremely terrifying venom. He is the king here. It must be resolved as soon as possible, otherwise our fate will be in jeopardy once it is called to deeper accomplices. And I see its actions, it is clear that it wants to completely absorb this girl's poisonous pill and life force. Poison Soul Child looked solemn, and then his palms began to move, as if some terrifying killer move was brewing. Humble human beings, to disturb this king's delicious food is a sin that deserves death. With a cold snort, accompanied by an extremely dazzling purple poisonous glow in this devil's cave, the void is slightly distorted, and even the weak will fall into a coma. Looking up, the purple snake shadow wrapped around the little medical fairy has disappeared, replaced by a graceful and enchanting woman, who is holding the little medical fairy in a state of absent-mindedness at this time. He sucked it hard at the little doctor's face, as if he was absorbing something from the latter's body, and he seemed to enjoy it very much. On the woman's body, there are purple scales like snake scales, and above the scales, there is a terrible poisonous mist that corrodes everything. Fortunately, with the isolation of the poison pill, the little medical fairy is fine for the time being. After awakening this guy, Xiao Yang repeatedly confirmed that the life of the little medical immortal was not serious, and then heaved a sigh of relief, but the look of relief on his face slowly turned into a frantic killing intent. What a terrifying power of poisonous fog. It seems that the Lord Jiang is raising it, trying to make it advance and become his own thug. The Poison Soul's offensive is still condensing, but looking at the figure of the King of 10,000 Snakes in the poisonous fog, a dignified look flashed in his eyes. In terms of poison alone, he can't even compare to this guy with his dignified triple reincarnation rank. Even after careful sensing, you can find that the strength of this 10,000 Snake King is only at the peak of the second reincarnation. Move her, you will apologize by death. Involuntarily, behind Xiao Yang, pieces of glass-colored flames emerged and burned violently, like a mountain of flames and souls containing supreme divine power. The Flame Soul Mountain just emerged, and the void in the entire demon cave trembled violently, and countless demon snakes hiding in the gaps of the demon cave retreated and fled together. It seems that once this power is released, this place will be completely destroyed. At this moment, the entire demon cave is filled with a strong smell of gunpowder, and a touch of anger. Human, have something to say. At this moment, feeling the terrifying aura of near destruction, the icy face of the 10,000 Snake King moved away from Xiao Yishan and slowly looked at Xiao Yang. The power of the holy flame is extremely devastating for the demon snakes who live under the gloomy underground. If Xiao Yang really uses this attack, I am afraid that the entire demon nest of 10,000 snakes will be destroyed in one fell swoop. And the devil's nest of 10,000 snakes is the root of the king of 10,000 snakes. Once destroyed, it will undoubtedly be a disaster. If you hurt her, then die. At this time, Xiao Yang seemed to be insane, the flame soul behind him became more and more solid, and he walked towards the king of 10,000 snakes step by step, revealing the terrifying coercion invisibly, enough to crush any double reincarnation rank. By Xiao Yang, you misunderstood. Just as Xiao Yang's attack was about to fall, the little Dr. Xian's body suddenly trembled a few times, and then barely woke up. He spoke weakly, his voice filled with a sense of weakness. Sister Xiaoyixian? Seeing this, Zuna hurriedly came to Xiao Yang's identity, looked at the little medical fairy who was close at hand, and hurriedly said. At this time, the body of the little medical fairy was filled with a dark green poisonous mist, and poisonous pills emerged, which set off her beautiful appearance, but the pale face on her pretty face was particularly dignified, as if she had encountered some danger. Things are normal. Humph. The 10,000 Snake King watched the woman beside him wake up, and the pressure was greatly reduced, but he was also afraid after a while. A terrifying poisonous mist filled his body, staring at Xiao Yang with a serious face, ready to escape at any time. Zuna. Little Dr. Immortal turned around directly, and a layer of grey-purple poisonous mist wrapped her delicate body, as if she was deliberately avoiding Xiao Yang. After I left the Dochi continent, the poison pill broke out in my body, and countless poisonous mists gushed out. After being captured by the Lord of the Buried Demon River, I was thrown here, but the King of 10,000 Snakes couldn't devour me, so this is a deal between me and the King of 10,000 Snakes. I expel the excess poisonous mist and let it absorb it. She uses the power of the poisonous mist of the 10,000 Snakes Devil's Nest to help me break through the battle of immortals. The little medical fairy who was hidden in the poisonous mist spoke slowly, and the aura was rising steadily at an extremely terrifying speed. 1-star Do-D. 2-star Do-D. It took almost a minute for the latter's strength to reach Do Xian. Although it was a little floating, but with the blessings of Poison Gong and Poison Pill, it would take a long time for it to be completely stabilized. When Xiao Yang heard the words, when the terrifying offensive behind him slowly subsided, he just stared at the little doctor fairy hidden in the poisonous mist. Why is this girl avoiding herself? And although her strength has skyrocketed, the breath given to her seems a bit wrong. Tear it off. Xiao Yang approached Xiaoyixian, directly ignoring how terrifying the poisonous mist was, and reached out to touch the latter's body-protecting poisonous mist, gently tearing it apart. This is. The poisonous mist disappeared, and Xiao Yang's appearance was once again reflected in Xiao Yang's line of sight, but this time, there were countless poisonous creatures squirming under the skin intermittently, and flashing in his eyes. The whole person seems to be similar to a poisonous woman who is extremely evil. You. Just lost his mind. Xiao Yang instantly pulled off the poisonous mist covering his face and figure. Xiaoyixian hurriedly used a soft poisonous mist to protect Xiao Yang's palm, and then lowered his head with some distress and guilt. It seemed that it was difficult to formally Xiao Yang. Although Xiaoyixian is weak by nature, he also knows that Xiao Yang is already a family member, so no matter how huge the backlog of emotions is in his body, he is trying his best to suppress it. Now that his poison art is evolving, but his face is blurred and ugly, and this is the original scene. Sister Xiaoyixian. At this moment, Zuna moved slowly, her slender hand pulling the palm of the little medical fairy, smiling. This smile seems to contain 1,000 words. Under the influence of Zuna's gentle smile, Xiaoyixian was also a little stunned. Zuna in his memory was a princess-like existence. How could it be? How is the situation? Xiao Yang frowned, looking at Xiao Yixian's face with the hidden poisonous mist running from under his skin. He was a little worried. Fine. But. Little Dr. Immortal gathered the poisonous mist all over her body, and then hesitated a little, as if it was a bit unspeakable. The poison in this girl's body is not complete, and it's not the best. With her poison pill, things like these things that can't control the poison in the body often happen. If you want to solve this kind of thing, I'm afraid there is only one way. Seeing a few people doing this, the poisonous soul on the side moved slightly. As the poisonous woman of the Poison God Palace, his eyesight is naturally extremely old. Any solution? Xiao Yang and Zuna hurriedly asked. The most important thing is to solve the situation of the little doctor right now. Senior poisonous woman, don't. Xiao Yixian heard the words, her delicate body trembled abruptly, as if she didn't want Poison Soul Child to continue. Girl, your poisonous body is rare in the ages. As long as you cultivate it well, your achievements in the future will be limitless. Also, the strength of the two in front of you has reached the cycle of reincarnation, so you won't be willing to succumb to them, right? Looking at your relationship is extraordinary. As long as you get this thing, you will not necessarily be lower than the two of them in your achievements after going to the Poison God Palace for decades. At that time, with strength, isn't it easy to handle other things? The poisonous soul whispered in the ear of Xiaoyixian. Obviously, this poisonous woman who has experienced vicissitudes of life has already had some insight into the extraordinary relationship between the three, and every word will lure Xiaoyixian. But, after leaving the Doqi continent, the little medical fairy also gained a new understanding of the power system of the Great Thousand World. Hearing the poisonous woman speak like this, she immediately hesitated. Senior, let's talk. Xiao Yang pressed on. There is only one way to solve this girl's situation. This way is very simple, but it is also very dangerous. In our Poison God Palace, there is a forbidden place called Poison God Devil Pool. And inside, there is a powerful poisonous beast. 8 poisonous snakes. The poisonous woman opened her mouth, slightly fiery. 8 poisonous snakes. When Xiaoyixian heard the words, his face instantly turned pale, and then he directly refused. Senior poisonous woman. This is absolutely impossible. 8 poisonous snakes are full of treasures. Even has a powerful poison pill in her body that has been cultivated for tens of thousands of years. If she can get it, this girl's situation can be completely disintegrated. And its body, its blood, etc., for this girl, it is a big tonic. It's just the strength of this poisonous beast, it's a bit scary, I don't know. Poison Soul Z said with a slight smile, as if he was determined by Xiao Yang. Senior, lead the way. Zuna smiled knowingly at Xiao Yang, naturally agreeing with the latter's approach, and Xiao Yang immediately laughed heartily. No matter how terrifying and tyrannical the 8 poisonous snakes are, this time they must die. Hey, just wait for your words. Hearing Xiao Yang's confident reply, Poison Soul said with a smile that was not a smile. Xiao Yang. The 8 poison demon snake is one of the guardian poisonous beasts of the Poison God Palace, and its strength is extremely tyrannical. It is said that he has survived 4 calamities, and his strength is comparable to that of a human quadruple reincarnation level powerhouse, and the combat power of poisonous beasts has been much more tyrannical than ordinary humans and beasts since ancient times. There is no need to take this risk for me. The situation in my body is not bad, I can. When the little doctor heard this, he hurriedly advised. What a behemoth the poison god palace is. This is the real hegemonic force in the demon world. Even if Xiao Yang possesses the strength of the first-level reincarnation and many means, if he enters it rashly, his situation may be precarious. And just entering the forbidden area of the poison god palace is very difficult for everyone, not to mention dealing with such a huge creature that has survived for tens of thousands of years. The risk factor has increased exponentially. Inflammation takes risks. 4th reincarnation rank. When Xiao Yang heard this, he couldn't help being a little stunned. Although he had already heard that the poison god palace was extremely powerful in the demon world, he never thought that the strength of a guardian beast would be so powerful. And, since this monster is one of the guardian monsters of the poison god palace, this poison soul actually drives them to hunt and kill. This is a bit like guarding and stealing. Or does poison soul have other plans? You don't know something. The rules of the poison god palace are different from those in the human world. The guardian beasts here are, to put it mildly, guardian beasts, but in reality, these beasts are bullies who occupy the rich cultivation resources of the poison god palace. Similar to this 8 poisonous devil snake, its strength is tyrannical. With the addition of the power of 8 venoms, even some elders in the palace are helpless, and this allows it to survive. If someone can kill it, everyone in the poison god palace will naturally be happy. 8 poisonous snakes are useless to the strongest in the palace, but they are very useful to this girl. This has also created a situation where the strong are disdainful of shooting, and the weak are unable to fight. Poison Soul Child explained. It's not too late, let's go. After chatting for a while, after other information was confirmed, Xiao Yang and the others, directly under the action of the space shuttle scroll of the Poison Soul, went to the habitat of the 8 poisonous snakes. As the poisonous woman of the Poison God Palace, Poison Soul Son did not ask about the internal affairs of the Poison God Palace. As long as he found the poison body and cultivated it, the reward he got was unprecedented. Familiarity with the shrine can ease a lot of trouble along the way. After all, they are now breaking into the Poison God Palace alone. Once they are discovered by some wicked people, if they want to add a crime, there is nothing to worry about. Quadruple reincarnation rank, this kind of tyrannical existence is undoubtedly extremely destructive and challenging for Xiao Yang today. With the tearing of the shuttle scroll in the subspace of the poisonous soul, everyone fell into the void, and they were not discovered by any suspicious persons along the way, and they swept away at the residence of the 8 poisonous snakes of the Poison God Palace. It seems that our Poison God realm is going to change this time. The 10,000 Snake King below slightly raised her eyes and looked at Xiao Yang and the others who disappeared. The next Poison God realm will not be peaceful, but her heart is more of a kind of fiery, the kind of little medical fairy. If the poisonous body is difficult to poison, if it succeeds in poisoning, it will be enough to become one of the powerhouses in the world of poisonous gods. The faint void was gloomy, and within a day, the 4 of them came to a dark void. There is no sound here, there is no light, it is like a desolate and dead area, and there is a faint sense of creepy fear. Here, the Poison God Devil Pool is in front. Poison Soul Child tore apart the void, then stepped into it, and said to the 3 behind him. Hearing this, Xiao Yang stepped inside first, raised his head, his eyes filled with surging soul power and scanned the void. In the distance, the dense poisonous fog almost made Xiao Yang's eyes sting. Below is a piece of poisonous fog swamp, and in the depths of these poisonous fog swamps that contain deadly threats, there is a grey-white stone hall, revealing that an ancient wave. 8 poisonous snakes. Xiao Yixian's chest throbbed violently, and the poisonous pill in her body that was condensed with the help of Xiao Yang seemed to be pulled in some way, and bursts of appalling poisonous mist erupted. The Xiaoyixiani difficult poison body is extremely special, and it can only be upgraded continuously by continuously acquiring the devouring venom. Sister Xiaoyixian, don't worry. Zuna grabbed the palm of the little doctor fairy, and then opened her mouth in relief. Zuna naturally knew that Xiao Yang had some feelings for Xiao Yixian, Yun Yun and others that he could not let go of. As for the outcome, just let it go. It seems that something delicious has been delivered to your door. Let me sniff. This is the smell of precious poison. The faint voice resounded through the entire poison god and demon pool like thunder, and circles of poisonous mist energy spread out, and the terrifying fluctuations contained in it were enough to turn any 1 or 2 reincarnation level into a bubble. This is the 8 poisonous devil snakes hidden in the depths of the poison god devil pool. Poisonous fog. Evil poison body. Poison Soul and Xiao Yan spoke at the same time, and the dazzling poisonous fighting chi was displayed, which turned out to protect everyone from this poisonous mist. Otherwise, without the protection of the two, everyone would be in trouble. The venom of the poisonous snake was enough to corrode Xiao Yan's soul. This guy should have sensed our traces. After all, the power of the poisonous mist is of the same origin. Once approached, the strong can easily sense it. The two worked together to block the poisonous mist, and the poisonous soul said with a solemn expression, and then he could only rely on Xiao Yang to see if he could kill this poisonous beast. Then let us have a meeting, the so-called poisonous beasts in the Poison God Palace. Xiao Yang sneered, and circles of glazed flames began to rise, his eyes filled with unprecedented madness. The four of them were extremely fast and almost took their breath away and rushed to the center of the grey-white stone temple in the Poison God Devil Pool. When I arrived around the stone hall, I was a little surprised to look at the void here. Around the stone hall, stone peaks emerged, with a magnificent style. I am afraid they are hundreds of meters long, and above the stone peaks, a trace of green venom is particularly clear, as if there is a living thing in it. It's finally here. Suddenly, a voice containing extreme contempt, like rolling thunder, scattered from the interior of the stone hall. As soon as the sound fell, the poisonous mist began to surge in the entire Poison God and Devil Pool. One by one, the bubbles containing the deadly poisonous mist rose from the ground. The 8 poisonous demon snakes, regardless of their strength or the power of poison, are the top-ranked powerhouses in the entire Poison God Palace. This video will end here.